It's Monday night. You know what that means. A brand new episode of the Flex Zone Podcast, episode 343. We are the MVPs of this sports podcast game. Another episode talking big things. NBA Final Four, Eastern and Western Conference Finals. We're talking about that Ravens schedule. We're talking about the NBA Draft Lottery. And of course, we're talking about those goofies of the week. Always something goofy going on in the world of professional sports. Hit that thumbs up. Comment down below. Hit that bell for all notifications. Of course, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Flex On Podcast doing big things here on YouTube. If you're on Facebook as well, hop over to the YouTube as well. The Flex On Podcast, like the channel, subscribe as well. God's favorite host, back again with the whole crew, reuniting. It feels so good. Flex On Podcast, only place giving you your sports how you want it when you need it. Coming to you live right after this. Blowing out the competition worse than the Mavs did those Suns. That's right.
Oh
It's the
boy.
Flex On Podcast, the only place, fellas, giving you your sports how you want it.
When you need it.
When you
We
need it.
need right now is the reuniting of America's favorite boy band. That's right, it's the Flex On Podcast, baby. All 5 members are back live in effect. Better than the 5 Heartbeats, better than the Temptations, better than Earth, Wind, and Fire, Crevonte. That's right, I know you see it. Better than the Jackson 5, and better than New Edition. It is the Flex On Podcast. Again, hit that thumbs up. Check out the ticker down below. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Hit that bell for all notifications. Big episode 343. As we said, we're the MVPs of this Flex Zone game, and we keep growing. We keep shining and glowing. Shout out to everybody tuning in on Facebook, Twitter, and of course the YouTube as well. Cash App, the Flex Zone 1. Check the ticket down below. Like I said, we're talking NBA Draft Lottery, Ravens schedule release, Eastern and Western Conference Finals, and I know Crevonte is going to close us out with another epic goofy of the week. You guys already know what time it is. Can't do this show alone. He is back. He is here. He is Diodamus, and he is still your friendly neighborhood King D, bringing the D to the Flex Zone Podcast.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
You know, Byron, I tell you, the D is back. The people been asking where D been at. Yes, Crevonte, they've been asking me. They said, we need D back.
Oh,
said,
my
hey,
God.
look,
Nobody said that.
all the games, but I'm back.
They having
They just have withdrawals, and I got to play my roll music. Bring the crown. Right. Once again,
crown him.
All hail the king of the Flex Zone. Back and better than ever. All right. Cue down my music. All right. Check out the Dallas Mavericks Network. We are almost at 1,800 subscribers. I mean, it's rolling fast. We want to thank you all for your support out there. Check out the Flex Zone Podcast. A lot of big things been going on, as you've been seeing. We're inching closer and closer to 1,000 subscribers. We're trying to get that real soon on the YouTube, and we all appreciate you for your support out there, ladies and gentlemen. And the floor is for the rest of my compadres.
This man, social media producer himself, making those videos look crisp as always, just like that white tee he's wearing. He's running on fumes, but he made sure to stop past the Flex On Podcast. It's your mom's favorite member, Big Raj. What's up?
What's going on, everybody?
Right.
Big Raj is here. That was a great intro, D. I must admit, man, you working on your intros. I like them. I really do.
Yeah.
You know, you're embracing that.
Did you miss the D?
Of course, I always miss the D, man. Especially
Oh
the
my
big,
God!
the big D.
What is going on here?
Boy, right there. But Yeah, check out the Flex Zone podcast. Doing big things. Almost to 1,000 subscribers. So if you have not hit the subscribe button, please, I encourage you
Let's
to
hit
go
it.
over to the YouTube channel, the Flex Zone podcast. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button for the video. Check out all of our videos, man. We got a lot of great content. And of course, tonight is going to be a fantastic show. So please support us and enjoy tonight's show.
This next man is the voice of reason. Shout out to Miss Queen as well. Seeing she's happy you're back, King D. Wave
That's
hello
right.
to her. Voice of reason, captain of the goofy ship, the man who downloaded AB's album soon as it dropped.
Hey,
Crevonte, Bay, Commander Crevonte. Make sure you salute him. But D,
Salute.
he is the Commandalorian.
uh, what has happened? It's been too long since you've been gone, and now everybody talking about, oh, we need the D, we want the D. Said no one ever. But
Oh,
D,
quite many people.
it is good. It is good to see you. Good to have you back. I'm glad you're well. Glad you got a break, even though it was due to inclement weather. But nonetheless, we take
What? Hey, Crevonte, what inclement weather?
right. No. Right. Hey, well, we take it. We take it. We take the good and we take the bad, and obviously we take the goofy. I can't wait. I can't wait to get into my goofy of the week as the show progresses. But yeah, Monday nights we back full in effect. But we got to start at 5 tonight. I'm excited. I'm definitely excited. Let's get it started, fellas.
This next man, his name starts with a D, so you know he's bringing a D each and every week on the Flex Zone podcast, as well as on Good Morning Baltimore. Start your day with a cup of Dre each and every day on WEAA. He is the head of the Flex Zone table. He is the Flex Zone Messiah. He is the tribal chief of this here podcast. He is the pride of the East Side. And if you don't like it, he'll hit you with a fireball because he's the influencer. He's the wizard. He's the man of 1,000 nicknames. The straw that stirs the drink. The man himself. The phenomenal, the one who wants to take a ride on Space Mountain, Andre Melton, my brother, the karaoke master himself.
My God,
Thank you, Byron,
forgot
for that
about
wonderful
this.
introduction as always. Man, I'm just excited that the whole gang is back. Man, we all together. Man, it's about to be an up and stuck episode. Let's go.
Speaking of up and stuck, we got to start with home first. Big news for the Flex On podcast on YouTube. Fellas, we have hit over 60,000 views on the YouTube. That's right, the Flex On podcast. If you
That's
don't
right.
know, we hit over 60,000 views on YouTube. Make sure you
Yes.
subscribe to Flex On podcast. Fellas, Dre, I'll start with you. Thoughts, brother?
And I mean, this might sound a little arrogant, but when we put out the product that we've been putting out, this is to me only the beginning. I mean, what especially the work that you and Raj have done within the past couple months. I mean, it's been no surprise that this is the first of many milestones, and my hats is off to the both of you as well as Crevonte as well for the videos that have been put out. So thank y'all and thank the people who watch us, who've been supporting us for over 300 episodes, and we ain't stopping, y'all. We can't
Cavante?
stop. We won't stop. This is like we said. This is only the beginning.
Crevante, when you and Dre started this podcast, did you ever think you would see 60,000 views for you talking about those Washington football commander Redskins?
um, so I mean, similar to Dre, I always knew the product was good. It just was figuring
Hey,
out how to appropriately present it. Because I mean, once we got the right guys in the room, we already know what it could have been and what it could be and what the potential of it to be. And I think we're slowly starting to figure things out. We're on the road to monetization, and we are rolling. I checked the hours a couple days ago, and I'm like, dang, we almost there. like damn, but like Dre said, over the past couple months, man, y'all have really been rocking it out. Raj was leading the charge, and before I know it, Byron was riding shotgun, and me and Dre on the train somewhere. We here, but it's like damn, they took off. And of course, D is riding the caboose, like, as
Yeah.
he usually does. But somehow this train is continuing to move. Everybody's doing well. Even with D and his other network, somehow, some way he's always putting on the flex zone, and there's more viewers, more traction, and more likes, more comments, more subs, and big ups to us, man. Just congratulations to everybody here. We all contributed, and I like where we're going. And this ain't it.
That's right, Mike O. Shout out to Mike
Hey,
O
that's
as
right. We
well. We the
won.
ones,
So,
baby.
Michael.
Mike O, you was a part of this as well. You was a part of that stream a few weeks ago, brother. You part of the family as well. So we can't thank you enough. Big Oos, Lamar, Mark, we see you checking in, Miss Queen, Curtis, we saw you at the beginning of the video. Everybody, man. There's so many people to name, but yes, shout out to everybody. Thank you again, Mike O. Raj. Hey, man, we just getting
Hey,
started.
yeah, man, just getting started, man. Just a drop in the bucket, honestly. It's a great accomplishment to get to 60, but I want over more. I want more than that. I want more. I want a lot more. And I want us to get to a point where everybody is flooding our goddamn channel, and it's just going crazy. So that's the goal. That's what we're trying to do. That's what we're going to do. This is just the beginning of it, like Crevonte said, and it's not going to stop. We're going to keep it moving. We're going to keep it pushing. We're going to continue to keep pushing for great content.
Hey, last but not least, there will always be plenty of D on the Flex Zone podcast, right, D?
Oh
Oh,
my
that's
God.
right, Byron. Yeah. Hey, the D just keeps on giving. But with that being said, I want to congratulate us. We're getting to the numbers that we've been wanting to get to for a while. Roger and Byron been at the charge. Me dealing with DSM, but we've been trying to bring some of them people over on both ends, and we're looking good. Numbers looking good. I mean, the stream a couple weeks ago with Wacklash, I just couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my god. I was in the middle of editing. I'm like, hey, wait, we need these people subscribe now. Come on, subscribe. We hitting that button, and that was a good night. And we're gonna continue. We're gonna continue pushing to give you the sports when you want it, where you need it. No doubt about it.
Hey,
Well, well, we appreciate everybody again. We are on our way. We'll be going up. As Dre would say, it's up and it's stuck, and it's only up from here. We the ones. But I gotta start D and Raj and Dre. Raven schedule came out about a week ago, and I'm gonna pull it up for you guys as well, so it'll be
Hey
on the
Dre,
screen for those viewers.
about a week ago,
Yes, that never gets old. Speaking of which, as well. But let me pull up the schedule. D, I know we've been talking about it through text and listen to our
Yeah.
various individuals we watch on radio and TV. Raj as well. When you look at this schedule, let me fix it so they can see it at home. When you look at the schedule, D, what do you think? And do you have a wins prediction? I know it's a long way to go, but what do you think when you initially see the schedule? Not a lot of travel and things of that nature.
I think it helps that the Ravens don't have to leave past the Central Time Coast only once with New Orleans. To me, it's three stretches in the schedule I look at. Look at the first four games. They play the whole AFC East. They should, I say, at least come out at least 3-1. I actually think New England might give them their toughest challenge just because of the defense the Patriots play. Going in Foxborough, it'll be early in the year, but it still poses a challenge. Um, Buffalo, well, coming home should be interesting. Then they had that stretch with Tampa Bay Thursday night, Cincinnati first, Tampa Bay Thursday night. Then they get 11 days and get the New Orleans Saints on Monday Night Football. I think that'd be a challenging stretch. And then, of course, four of the last five games, divisional opponents with the Falcons stretched in between. I thought the Ravens would get four primetime games. They got three. They do have an option there with Cleveland coming up on one of them weeks. They can get flexed on the NFL Network. But if they can stay healthy, man, they definitely be in contention, be a playoff team. They should be, to me, no worse than having at least 10 wins. No worse than 10 wins. But again, predicting wins and losses is a fool's bet because the league changes so much. You just don't know. But they will definitely be in contention, in my opinion.
Big Raj. Obviously, we did a video for the YouTube myself, but what are your thoughts, man? Do you like the schedule? I think you were commenting on the video as well. What you think?
Oh man, yeah, I like. I mean, I like it. It's it's a good schedule, but I wanted more. I wanted more primetime games, man, especially at home. I thought this team deserved at least to have 4 primetime games because the way we played last year. Yeah, granted we went 8 and 9, but a lot of those games were lost by like 1 or 2 points. And on top of that, we was missing half of our team. So I thought that the schedule makers could have at least gave us another primetime game. But hopefully by the end of the season, the Cleveland game will be a primetime game. But other than that, I think the schedule is what the schedule is, man. We were the last place team in our division, so we're playing a lot of last place teams. Um, I think we have a chance to redeem ourselves from last year. Granted, everybody stays healthy. Granted, some people come back during the season or at the end of the season. I think that our toughest challenge probably will be the Bengals. Of course, the Steelers, they're always going to be a challenge, and Cleveland has got a new quarterback, so they're going to be a challenge as well. But everybody else on this schedule, I think we can beat. I think we can definitely beat the Patriots. I think definitely we need to stomp on the Dolphins and the Jets.
That's
I
right,
think
Q. We stomping on y'all. We give you the curb stomp from Seth Rollins, baby.
Oh,
I'm not,
yeah.
definitely not afraid of the Saints. The Falcons is still rebuilding, and Denver. I mean, granted they got Russell Wilson. I think we have a chance to beat them like we did last year. So I'm not really afraid. I think that everybody is wondering what's going to happen with this wide receiving core. I think they're going to shock a lot of people this season, man. I think Bateman is going to be a beast, but I also think that Duvernay and Prochet will step their game up. So look out for that. I really don't care if we do get a veteran or not. I just think that this team is going to be okay. I think they're going to be fine. So I see them getting over at least 11-6. I think they'll be at least 11-6 by the end of the season. I think they'll be a playoff team, and I think they'll have a shot, to maybe make a run in the playoffs. But I don't see this team getting no less than 11 wins.
Drizzy Dre, you are the dean of Balsall Hall University, brother. I got to get your thoughts.
Um, I'm stuck in between 10 to 11 wins, but I mean, this is Ravens Nation, Balls Hard University, and I think that we we should have more primetime games other than three. I think that this was a team that was decimated by injuries, and that even in the midst of injuries, they were still in playoff contention, and they were right in there. So I can only imagine how this team is going to be once their starters come back. Um, I can't wait. The Cleveland game, I'm guessing that's decided upon Watson's allegations, but this schedule, I mean, is very favorable, and I think that the Ravens should try to take advantage of it, especially if they are going to go into certain stadiums because you need your crowd behind you, as the Bucks can attest to that, and we'll talk about that in a future segment.
Crevonte, uh, just your thoughts looking at the schedule, but let the people know we're going to be doing something with your Commandalorians real soon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm gonna do a video. Well, we're gonna do a video similar to what you did for the Ravens, except we're talking about the Commanders. And that's gonna be that, and that's gonna be interesting. But we're talking about, hey, y'all go again. All right. But for the Ravens, this schedule is pretty favorable. Now, obviously, doesn't matter how favorable or unfavorable the schedule is if everybody is not healthy, or at least your key players aren't healthy. So, barring injuries, I see 11 wins. Um, I think you're going to be in a dogfight with with the Bengals because y'all have something. Y'all got some get back because they embarrassed folk both times last year. So it's definitely going to be some get back. But it's arguably that the Bengals have the best quarterback in the division. So it's going to be a dogfight every time. You already know how it is with the Steelers. No matter how good or how bad the Steelers actually look, they play the Ravens very tough. Like they get up for the Ravens. Well, y'all get up for each other. So looking at the schedule, I mean, you got the Buccaneers. Um, you got Buffalo. It screams 11 wins. It screams 11. Now obviously there's gonna be some games that you are gonna lose that you probably didn't see coming. But with 11 wins, that means 6 losses. It's hard for me to sit here and count 6 wins. I mean 6 losses for the Baltimore Ravens. So I'm gonna stand on. I'll stand on 11. And Byron, when I get a chance or whenever it comes out, um, I'm gonna look at the wins, the estimated wins for the season, and see what the odds are. Because if it's anything less than, if it's 9.5, I'm
I
all
think
over.
it's nine, and I think right now it's 9.5. Crevonte. I think
I'm
Yeah,
last
I
all
time I
think
over.
saw
it
it was
is.
9.5.
I'm all over it. I'm all over it. Now,
Bet that over.
obviously, now obviously, injuries, injuries, injuries. That's why it's hard to. It's really hard for future bets because so many factors can happen between now and then. But there's no way you can have this to see the injury-ridden season like last year. It's no way that repeats. So I'm saying 11. I'll stand on 11.
Definitely, and I can't wait to hear your thoughts on your Commanders as well. Check out that video. Be
It
coming
won't be
real
as
soon.
good, I promise.
Might have to nickname that the Wentz Revenge Tour. That's all his former teams he claims.
Very true. Playing, matter of fact, playing Jaguars first. The one that
His
put him out
former
the playoffs.
coach. Yeah, former coach.
So look
Yeah,
out for that video. And if there's any other teams we got that you want to see us do one for, let us know as well. But D, it's time for the annual ping pong draft
Oh, the ping
lottery
pong
of
lottery.
the NBA, baby.
It's time. West Unseld Drive, Elgin Baylor Way, back in business.
Real quick, let me before D, before I get your prediction on who gets the number one pick, we're just gonna throw darts at the wall here. I don't know if this is a thing, but let's look at the odds for those who care. We got the Houston Rockets with 14%. 52% at a top four pick. You got the Orlando Magic with 14%, 52% at a top four pick. You have the Detroit Pistons, 14%, 52.1% for a top four pick. And Oklahoma City Thunder with 14% as well. And the Pacers with 10%. So basically, you have the Thunder, the Pistons, the Magic, and the Rockets all with the same odds. And Oklahoma City not far behind. D, do one of these teams get the top pick?
I think they do. I think Houston ended up getting that number one pick. The Rockets has been decimated here in the last couple of years. Harden trade, then rebuilding. John Wall, pretty much right behind me. John Wall's right behind me. He pretty much hit a wall, and his career is over. Um, if Oklahoma, I'm gonna tell y'all though, if Oklahoma City get that number one pick, they're gonna know how to use it, and they're gonna be
Yeah.
very interesting, man. If they get that first pick, but I think it's going to Houston. I don't Detroit and Orlando. I mean, they've been in this draft lottery process for a little minute now. They ain't done much with it.
What you said?
I mean, they just
The
haven't.
76.
Oh boy,
Uh,
we're talking about them.
Dre, I'm
But
gonna go to
I
you
like
real
Houston
quick.
getting it.
Dre, I'm gonna go to you. Any prediction on who gets number one pick?
Like D said, I mean, it's been kind of hard to say. I mean, Oklahoma, you see, um, if they get it, I mean, they've been, breaking out some stars with whoever they get. Doesn't matter the number. They just seem to know who the people are. Um, Detroit, they got a young and up and coming star. I mean, you could do like Minnesota and have a couple number one picks, and then just hope for the best as to who will pan out, who won't. Um, I'm not sure in who would get the number one pick, and I think next year will be a really decent class for also whoever does get it. I mean, of course, I'm always rooting for the Knicks and hoping that, hey, Auntie, and I'm hoping that they can get it because I would love to see good basketball back in Madison Square Garden. No disrespect to any of those other teams, but that's a team I would personally like. Is if somehow, some way, um, the Knicks could get it because with Brooklyn and everything that's going on right now, all the attention has gone to them. But with the NBA, it's not a clear cut who gets the number one seed as opposed to other leagues. But um, that's who I personally would like to see if it could be um, the Knicks, just so that way I give New York some hope.
Go ahead, Raj, and then I'll go to Crevonte last.
Well, since Dre just said anybody can get the number one pick, I want the Washington Wizards to get it. So that's my choice. That's my pick. I
Oh,
think
Lord,
they luck
don't you
their
think the
way
Cheese Whiz and pimped enough teams, man? They pimped
into
Lakers.
getting that number one pick. Because to be honest with you, they're not a bad squad. They're not a bad team. They wasn't a bad team this past year. They had a lot of ups and downs, but getting the number one pick will definitely be fulfilling because they definitely need a point guard and they need some other pieces as well. But I mean, that's my choice. I think they can luck their way and get into the number one pick. I don't really care to see the Knicks get it. I don't care to see the Detroit Pistons or the Oklahoma City Thunder get it, or any other team that's way worse than what the Wizards were this year. I think they can get it. I think they can find a way to get it. The ping pong balls always all they gotta do is just bounce away, baby. Just bounce the Wizards' way.
Crevonte, I know you would love to see the Wizards get the number one pick, but do they?
No. That's extreme. Uh, extreme long shot. I like
Green.
I like probably either Orlando or Houston. Probably grab the number one overall pick. But I don't even understand why that's such a big deal. Why is it such an event? I don't get it. And there's not a guy. Maybe this is why there's not a guy who's going to change an organization in the draft. I, I
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
not
that's
this year. I agree.
like I don't. It's not a big deal to me. So now it's unlike 2003 where it was like, yo, we already know who about to be number one. Somebody's organization is about to change. They're none of those guys. So I'm not excited. And honestly, it's a WC for me.
Well, we shall see how it plays out tomorrow prior to game one of the Eastern Conference Finals, which we'll talk about in a second. But yeah, it's kind of like a crapshoot. Really, we don't know what the hell's going to happen with that. But as we said, it is the pregame show for the main event on tomorrow night, which will be the Eastern Conference Finals, the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics, the top two teams record wise, clashing off in a best of seven series. I think it's going 7 games. It's more of a pick 'em to me. I don't know what the odds are, Cavante. I'll get those from you as well. But D, when you look at these teams, Miami Heat and Boston, they've been the two best teams in the East all year long. Who's your pick?
Boston's beating the Heat 2 of the 3 meetings, but regular season matchups now mean less and less in the NBA just because everybody don't play, man. Everybody don't play these games, so it only becomes a mystery when you get into the postseason. I like the Heat in 6 games. I just feel like they match up better with Boston. Once again, Tatum and Brown has to show up every game. They can't be lax. They kind of got away with that against Milwaukee. I know I wasn't on the show, but I did mention Milwaukee would lose the series if it went to a game 7, just because without Middleton, without that presence to kind of get Holiday and Giannis balanced, and it came back and bit the quite frankly the last game of the regular season where Milwaukee had a chance to beat a 2 seed.
Oh my gosh.
They gave that up, and it came back to bite them in the butt, man. It literally did. It came back
Yes.
to bite them in the butt. But I just feel like Tatum and Brown, they got to play consistent. We know the Heat's going to play consistent. They're going to play defense. Jimmy Butler's going to be the straw that stirs the drink. Hero, Bam, some of the other cats they got is going to be the guys that step up. We know the Heat's going to bring it every game. They're not an inconsistent team, especially on defense. So it's up to Boston. If Boston comes with it, they can win the series. If not, they'll be saying woulda, coulda, shoulda like they was 2 years ago when they lost to the Heat in the bubble.
Raj, I'll go to you next. Go down the line, brother. Who is your pick? They knocked your Bucks out, unfortunately, but you like Boston all year too. I got to give you credit.
Well, I told you they had a chance to get to the Eastern Conference Finals only because of Jason Tatum, man. Jason Tatum has finally arrived. He has finally showed why he
Yeah.
was.
Agree.
He should have been. He should have been a Laker, but It is.
Oh, don't get me started.
Um, he he was awesome. The team played well. They took advantage of Chris Middleton not being there, and Giannis couldn't get it done. So I mean, it's not Giannis's fault either. Giannis was doing
It's not.
everything he could do, but it just wasn't hitting last night. So, in this series, man, this is a really tough series, man. This is a tough one. But you know what? I think I'm gonna go with the Celtics. I think I'm gonna go with the Celtics because one, Kyle Lowry is still hurt for the Heat. Two, they got a couple people that are banged up with Miami. Now, granted, Robert Williams is banged up with the Celtics, and Marquise Smart is a little bit banged up as well. But I just think that the bigger superstar, Jimmy's a great player, but I think the biggest superstar right now is Jason Tatum. So I think Jason Tatum is going to be the X factor in this series. I think he's going to lead the Celtics to the NBA Finals, man. And I think this team, like I said before, this team has been hot since the All-Star break. They came out the gate smoking, and they still smoking right now. And I don't see the Heat. I see this going 7 games, but I see the Heat going down in 7 in Miami. So, um,
Mm.
yeah, I think it's gonna be a bomb burner. I think it's gonna be a knockdown, drag out slugfest. But I think that the bigger superstar is Jason Tatum, and I think that uh, his team is prepared to, make the NBA Finals. Oh, and by the way, Eric Spoelstra is a fantastic coach. He's a great coach. So it could go the other way as well. But yeah, man, I think Celtics they're gonna take it.
Crevonte, what are the odds looking like? Is Boston favorite, I believe?
So
I think
they
they are.
are favorite to win the series. I have it at minus 185, and the Heat are plus 155. So yes, the Boston Celtics are favored to win the series. Um, this would be kind of a letdown. Well, okay, let me say this first. There are two
Mm.
guys, and we're gonna get into the other one that have knocked down the door to superstardom. Two guys, and one of them is Jason Tatum. Welcome to superstardom. The VIP is upstairs. um,
Right.
so okay, so that there's that. This would suck. This would be a real letdown if they took down pretty much the top two best players in the league and then lose to Miami. That would really, really, really suck. Like getting KD and them out the way that they did, and winning a knockdown drag out against Giannis, it would be a letdown to not make it to the championship. But there is a very formidable opponent in front of them. Like it's a lot of dogs in Miami.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
pit bulls, Rockwallers, dogs, and they're led by the dog in Jimmy Butler, who had a lot to prove in putting Philadelphia out of the playoffs. A whole lot to prove. Tobias Harris over me, yeah, he had a lot to prove. So I think if this becomes a physical series, which I think it will, I lean Miami. I lean Miami because I think they have more dogs on their team. But the best player in the series should be Tatum. It absolutely should be Tatum. And I think it would be in the Celtics' best interest to win this in 6 games.
I agree.
I don't
I
want
agree.
I don't want if it goes to 7. I don't like the Celtics' chances. But shout out to their coach. He should have got coach of the year the way things are looking.
Oh,
And the way,
you mean Mr. Neil Long? Mr. Neil Long?
don't be respectful. Be
Mr. Neil
respectful.
Long?
Be respectful.
Hold up, they married?
No, no, I believe they're engaged or they're dating.
They're
One,
engaged. They're engaged.
they're engaged. But
She, hey, Nia, stick with that one. Stick with
oh
that
no,
one.
he's it. He's it.
No.
He turned them boys around. And we'll talk about another coach that turned his team around, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But um, I like the Celtics. I'm gonna say the Celtics, but it has to be in 6 games. The Celtics for the Celtics, I would it would have to be in 6 games. I'm going to lean that way because Tatum has arrived, and it would suck to break down the door and then then the clock strikes 12. I would hate to see that right now. Like you just got in the club and they turn the lights on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna say the Celtics in 6. If it goes to 7, it's Miami.
Well said, brother. Last but not least, Dre, you are pretty much the tiebreaker here.
Uh-huh. He he left superstardom like
Did,
Anthony Davis.
did he get on the flight to Miami already?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, he's there.
Okay. What's your prediction, bro?
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Man, I've been saying this, and Stephen A. would definitely love this. It's a reporter's dream. Um, if you can get an NBA Finals matchup to have Miami and the Golden State Warriors to travel between Florida and California, you win,
Yeah.
and that's my prediction. I wish it was me because I would be in the first thing smoking. I don't care if I got fly spirit or a soul plane. Whatever it would take
Soul
to
plane.
have that travel.
Soul plane.
Uh, but honestly, I just feel like that's the matchup between the Miami Heat and the Golden State Warriors. I think that I know a lot of people are saying Boston, and because this is Boston now, the narrative is going to be Boston. Can they overcome? Um, because this will be their third time as a collective group getting to the NBA Finals. Can they finally get over the hump and get to the finals? And the road that they've been able to take, and like we said, Jason Tatum and his coming out party. But at the same time, this Miami team has been to the NBA Finals. This team has only, they Miami is one of those situations where, with a great coach and great executive, in Eric Spoelstra and Pat Riley, where even in a somewhat down turn, they can quickly bring it back up, and you see that this team is in a conference finals again. Um, but I think that this is a team that, um, though they don't have a true superstar, they have great pieces. Jimmy, of course, is their star, but they've got plenty of other guys in there, some other dogs. This is going to be one of them old school type of playoff um, series. I feel.
Under,
Excuse me.
under.
Of course, it's going to be under because it's going to be nothing but defense.
Take the under,
But
Byron. Take the
Yeah, take
under.
it under big time. Yeah, take it big time.
but
I
I
agree.
agree.
And
but
the unders at like
I,
205,
but
which is
I'm
absurd.
excited
But
about this one. I'm excited
I agree.
about this one.
Well, Dre, from one team to another. Before we get to the Western Conference Finals, last night we saw the Suns get annihilated in their home arena,
That was
and
embarrassing.
it was, and I stayed up and watched it only because of Inside the NBA, D. Only because of
That's
Inside
right.
the NBA.
The best show
Best
on
show,
television.
the best
Oh,
show on
Chuck's
TV.
face. Did you see Chuck's
Yes,
face?
yes, yes. Dre, we got to talk about the point guard, Chris Paul, before we get into the matchup between the Warriors and the Mavericks. Was this his last chance at an NBA championship? He's 38 years old. He's not getting any younger. He looked like he lost a step during this series. I don't know if it was because of the schedule or Luca was just making him work.
I, I think he
Brunson.
turned 37 in this series as well in this
Okay,
year.
so he'll be 38 next year. So, Dre, is
Huh.
this it for Chris Paul? Is this their last chance? Aiton's a free agent. Um,
No, I don't. I feel like this Suns team is a team that's going to be have to be reckoned with. I felt like though they were a little disappointing. I mean, so were the Bucks. I mean, both Game Sevens were blowouts, and when you just think about, we were thinking about a
it's
rematch
different, man. It's
to happen
different.
between the Suns and the Bucks, but yet it didn't happen. Both teams got blown out in the semifinals, and that's okay. Maybe they succumb to the pressure. Um, who knows? Injuries, all types of factors happen. But I feel like as long as you got Chris Paul, you got Devin Booker, they got a lot of their core still who can come back. And I forgot the player's name who they need to pay him from the Suns, but it's
Nope.
slipping my mind. But
You talking about
Aiden,
80?
Aiden, DeAndre Aiden.
Aiden, pay him, man. He so that
nope.
way he can
No,
be
absolutely not. Absolutely not.
look pay that brother
Absolutely
so
not.
that way he can so that way he can be a contributor, bring it back. I mean, this I think that this was
Oh,
just one of those bad nights.
Crevonte,
oh,
you don't want to pay Aiden?
he's soft, bro. He is soft, bro. No, that's not it. And he quit. He's a quitter, bro. Nah, yo, we don't pay them players, bro. We don't pay them max money. We don't pay them for new deals. Nah, bro. He got to go. He has got to go. And game seven, both game sevens were a blowout, but the Suns had no excuse. The Suns absolutely had no excuse. Shame on Monty Williams. Shame on Chris Paul. Shame on Devin Booker. Devin Booker is still outside the club waiting to get into superstardom. That's the name of the club. And Devin Booker is still in line. It's like I thought he was on the door at one point. He's still in the line. He did not show up. Devin Booker did not show up. Chris Paul showed up for the first two games, like he always does, and then fell out. Now, I kind of want to give him some slack because of the situation with on Mother's Day, but but you're the leader. You got to get everybody ready. Monty Williams, there's no excuse why your horses are not going in a game seven with all the chips on the table. There's no reason for that. And DeAndre Ayton quit. He quit. I saw that. He quit. And I'm not for quitters, bro. He was he's the number one overall pick, and he did not play like it in this series at all. Big ups to the Dallas Mavericks because my gosh, Luka's on the second floor. He's on the second floor of superstardom right now. He's on the second floor or making his way to VIP. He's on his way because I'm that and don't take this the wrong way because I'm not comparing them to, but that was Jordan like. What Luka did to the Phoenix Suns was Jordan like a complete assassin from the beginning to the goddamn end. He snatched the souls from Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, which it wasn't much there in the first place, and Monty Williams. He absolutely snatched their hearts in the first few possessions. It was like, oh gosh, Luka is he's on a tear. He's on a mission. And I don't know if y'all seen his stats in elimination games. One of the best ever. One of the best ever.
Averaging like 40, Crevonte.
He's damn near 40.
So, yeah.
He averaging 40. He averaging like 38, 39, 40 points. Like what? But for the Phoenix Suns to get mollywopped like that at home, no. They were never in the game. Never. Like your leading scorer was Cam Johnson.
Who?
And no disrespect to Cam Johnson because he's a contributor on this team, but you got a superstar and a great veteran on that team. There's no reason why he should have led the team in scoring with 12.
Hey, Crevonte, to your point.
I am thoroughly disappointed in what I've seen out of the Phoenix Suns. Thoroughly disappointed.
Go ahead, D.
You know, they said that the Kardashians already took Devin Booker's soul already. So I mean, it wasn't much left. The Kardashians sucked him up, sucked his soul.
My heavens.
It's that light skinnedness, man. They got to him. He got beat. Now that was one of the weirdest game sevens I ever seen because the first 6 games, the home team won every game. So you go into game 7, you're like, okay, Phoenix at home. Dallas. I don't even think Dallas has beaten Phoenix in general in the last 4 years in Phoenix. Then just to see that, I mean, at one point it was a 60-point lead, man, in the third quarter. 60. I was like, hey, Phoenix, y'all going out like that, and And Cliff Paul
Yeah.
showed up last night. You know, y'all seen the Gone Fishing boat on Inside the NBA. It said insurance for number one seed. They needed it. Now I know Crevonte. I got a feeling his goofy might be a certain guy in Minnesota. So I won't go too much into that. But he was
D,
he
you
was he
good,
was
man.
dis-
You're good, man.
he was disrespectful today. But his message, it ain't wrong because Chris Paul hadn't played defense in many years. I mean, we've seen Stephen Curry burn him up over the years. So that ain't no shock. It's just the shock of it coming from that source. It ain't a good source it's coming from. That's all I'm
It's the
saying.
messenger. It's the messenger. That's
Exactly.
all.
Exactly. Is this Chris Paul's last year? I think it is, man, because the West is getting better. I mean, Dallas, we just
Oh
said,
yes.
is there Memphis? I mean, Memphis is coming. Golden State's still going to be around.
Don't, don't forget about the
Um,
Pelicans. I mean, they if they can keep
if the
Zion.
Pillsbury shoot boy can get in shape, the Pelicans will be there. Pillsbury shoot boy, Zion. He look. Me and Zion is not eating in the same places. Okay, I don't see him. He
I
must be
can't
eating in
tell.
bigger places. He
Well,
must be eating in bigger places.
no. He's
Wow.
chasing those Caucasian women. That's what
Oh Lord.
he's still doing
Oh
that.
gosh.
Oh
Oh gosh.
Lord.
Y'all on fire today,
Um,
man.
Denver. Let's not forget about Denver. Utah's the one. Utah's the interesting one because if they break that up, it might be a ride for the Jazz.
Gotta go. Gotta go. What Dre
Yeah,
say?
man.
Blow it up.
What up?
Blow it up. Yeah, I'm kind of that point too, man. They seem like they ain't doing nothing. Frenchie Gobert ain't doing much. He talking about bees and all this other junk. He ain't
Yo,
doing much,
D.
man. But
D, he said he'll shut down Shaq, bro.
yeah, he was good for that. I was like, bro, you're not even that physical. Like
Not
we,
at all, bro. You
you're
have
not
a
you're
you
not a
have a
physical
clear
center.
ceiling. You have a clear ceiling.
Yeah,
Raj, go
and,
ahead,
and
Raj. Get in
he's
here.
hitting
Oh,
he's hitting that ceiling.
oh man. Crevonte, you said a lot, brother, that I wanted to touch on. Let me just say this, man. This might have been the worst Game 7 I have ever seen in my entire life.
Yup.
I did not expect Luka Doncic to have a game, a whole game worth of points in the first quarter. He had
Right.
27 points in the first quarter. The first quarter was 27 points for the Phoenix Suns. And after that, it felt like he was like, you know what, Spencer Dinwiddie, go get your 30 points, man.
Raj.
Oh,
He sat on the
Raj.
bench. Have you ever seen
he,
a star sit
he
on the bench in Game 7?
yes, he sat on the bench the whole
Raj.
fourth quarter. It was amazingly terrible,
Raj.
man. Yeah, I see you, Cavante. The soul was snatched. All right, I see you.
Oh,
I see you.
snatched.
He was saying with his Sang Su off that joint off of Mortal Kombat. Your soul is mine. I know, but um, yeah, man. The Phoenix Suns, man, they were just god awful yesterday, man. The worst performance I've ever seen a team put on. It was so bad. ESPN put Pat Beverly on first take, and of course, you know what he did to Chris Paul this morning. He destroyed Chris Paul. He was like his best defense was. He doesn't even know what defense is. He plays defense like he's just a straight cone. Meaning anybody can go past him. I was like, my goodness, man, it was awful. The whole thing was awful. The game itself was awful. A shout out to Luka Doncic, man. He has arrived, like Crevonte has said. He is definitely on that superstar tier. He was complaining last year. He needed more help. Porzingis wasn't it, and clearly once they got rid of Porzingis and brought in
They took off. That's
Mr.
true, man. They
Dinwiddie,
took
I
off.
was like, I don't know if this combination can work. But Jalen Brunson, Spencer Dinwiddie, and Luka Doncic, man, are an amazing trio of players. They are awesome, and it it is amazing to watch. So hats off to Dallas Mavericks. I do think that DeAndre Ayton should get a supermax deal though, or a max contract from the Phoenix Suns. Only because I don't think they can get anything for him or anybody to actually replace him in that period. Now, would it be a mistake? I don't know. Management and him are not on the same page. He only played 17 minutes yesterday. It looked like he did quit out there, but that's between them and management. But I still think he's a good player. I think he can be better. And like Shaq said last night, he just had a really, really, really bad game. So I'm not gonna tell the brother that he can't play or anything. But it is what it is, man. He's gonna have to make up for it in the off season. Hopefully, they come to an agreement because they're gonna need him. Because if they do lose him, it is a complete wrap for the
Yeah, they're in
Phoenix,
trouble. They're in real trouble.
and they're in serious trouble if DeAndre Ayton walks out the door. So, um, yeah, man, that was a terrible loss. It was a bad look for Booker. Definitely a bad look for Chris Paul. Definitely didn't look like the point God. It looked like the point fraud. So he's gonna have
So,
to get
And the sun is setting. No pun intended. The sun is setting.
hey, yo, B, yo,
You,
I think the window has closed because
I agree.
I'm looking down and I didn't answer the question. I think the window has closed.
I'm
Oh,
a,
your soliloquy
We'll
answered
see.
it, but thank you.
I'm gonna say there's a little bit
We'll
of
see.
hope left. He is just
I
36.
think they all come back next year. Is the year they got to do it, man.
I'm saying it's not closed because he might play until he's like 41, 42. You never
I
know.
think he's under contract until what 2025,
Yep, I
2026.
agree,
Yep.
D. I was about to say that.
Because
He's
he
under
signed the
contract.
extension in the
Yep.
offseason last year. Yeah.
That's right there.
He can always get traded or whatever. So let's
He
not.
definitely get traded. They don't get it done next year. He's out of here.
Yeah, he can get traded anyway. I don't think he's gonna completely fall off the cliff. No pun intended. In about 3 years. So
Ah,
Wow.
He fell off one last night. Tell you that.
he was he was definitely clipping last night.
It happens, man. So, but
But I will say this though, man.
he still got.
You can't have him guarding Luca, man. I mean, that's just a mismatch right there in the South, man.
Yeah.
Luka
Okay.
versus
Be
the
honest with
entire
you.
team was a mismatch.
Nobody can guard Luca. Not
straight
nobody
up, no.
can
I
guard
would have
Luka.
double teamed the whole series.
I'm gonna call Keith Sweat. Nobody.
Yeah, I would have double teamed the whole series. You ain't gonna beat me. Dinwiddie, Brunson, y'all go get 40. You ain't beating me, Luca. I'm sorry. I'm not letting that happen. Especially in the playoffs. You know he's their best player, but that's neither here nor there. We'll see what happens because they are in the Western Conference Finals for the first time since 2011. That is the year they did win
Wow.
the NBA championship, in case you were wondering. And Raj, I'll start with you, then I'll go to D. Western Conference Finals. Got the Golden State Warriors and the Dallas Mavericks. Game one on Wednesday in San Francisco on TNT. This series will be your pick.
Whew. This is a tough one, man. There's another tough one. I thought it was gonna be Phoenix versus Golden State, but the way Luca is playing, it. I mean, I could see Dallas in the NBA Finals. I can see it now. I didn't see it back then, but after these performances and after the way he's been taking over and just giving everybody his ass to kiss on the court, man, it I can see it. But I'm gonna stick with my original pick. I'm gonna stick with the Golden State Warriors. I still think they're a team to be reckoned with. You know, the chef is back. You know, Clay is out there raining in threes. Draymond is being the heart and soul of the team like he's always been. So I think that they can beat him in 6. I'm not really confident about it because I'm not sure what to expect from the Dallas Mavericks. They might shock the world, and it wouldn't surprise me not one bit. So, but I'm going to stay with Golden State. I think they have enough pieces. I think that the X factor will probably be Jordan Poole. You know, if he has a great series, is going to make it a lot more easier for Golden State. If he doesn't, I don't know. I think he's the X factor. I think you're going to see what you're going to get what you're going to get from Steph and Clay and Draymond and even Wiggins. But I think he's the X factor to the series, and I think that Golden State's going to win the 6, man. But yeah, watch out for the Dallas Mavericks. They're a very tricky team.
Go ahead, D.
I would say that with Luca, you almost want him to kind of shoot his wad, man. You want him to kind of score a bunch of points, don't get his teammates involved. If he does that, usually Dallas don't win games, and that's what you might have to kind of do if you Golden State, man. Let Luca do his thing. Make sure Brunson and Swin Diddy and all them other cats don't do theirs. Props to Jason Kidd, by the way, man. Another one. He should have been the Laker coach. They didn't want to make him the coach right away. And it's another one that has paid. They paid the pipe on that one. But I think the key in this Higgins is Mr. Wiggins, man. He's going to have that job of probably guarding Luca most of the game. I don't expect him to score many points. If he can be able to slow Luca down just enough. You're not going to stop him, but slow him down just enough. I do like the Warriors. The Warriors are the more veteran team in this series. First time since 2011 as well that the top two seeds from the West ain't make the conference finals that year. I think that was the Spurs and the Lakers. I think the Spurs
Yeah,
lost to the Thunder, and the Lakers, of course, lost to Dallas. Which the rest is history. There, the rest is history. But I kind of like Golden State in six to Unk's point. But could Dallas win the series if they play team ball? Yeah, I can see it. I can definitely see it. But I'm gonna stick with the Warriors. I think they want to prove a point. I think they won in Phoenix personally. I really do. I think they won in Phoenix, man. Just to prove that point that we're back, we can beat the top teams. But it's gonna be interesting, man. Like Dre said, the Heat and the Warriors in the finals. That's a reporter's dream right there. Reporter's dream.
Crevonte?
I want to give a shout out to my man Jason Kidd. Um, his first stint as being a coach did not work out like he wanted it to. He had a
Yeah.
very, very, very young and skinny Giannis, and I don't think they meshed well necessarily.
Right.
And he got out of there and worked his way back up. And now he's on the team. The last time the Dallas Mavericks were in the conference finals, he was on the team as a player.
That's true.
So I think it's only fitting that it's him as a coach. And again, just like him and the coach for the Boston Celtics, I can't pronounce his. Well, I always pronounce his name wrong. How do you pronounce his name from Boston?
Just say Mr. Neil Long. Mr.
Oh,
Neil
Not
Long.
Ime
Mr.
Udoka.
Long.
Ime
Yeah.
Udoka. Ime Udoka.
He made
Coach
you do it.
Coach Ime Udoka.
Coach Long Adoka.
And and Jason Kidd, mind turned defense. They turned their teams into a more defensive minded team as the season went on. Even Luca out there to a point playing. I mean, he ain't locking nobody up, but he's active. He's being active on the defensive side of the ball. So Dallas had become a defensive team. But it's hard to go against the championship pedigree that the Golden State Warriors have. I tug on that point even when they was playing the Grizzlies. I'm like, the Grizzlies gave it their best shot, but just the experience, the pedigree, the coaching, the players, the superstar, everything pointed to Golden State. Now, this team superstar is a little bit bigger and is in the club. And like D said, if they play team ball, I can see them winning this series. But I feel like the role players for the Warriors are a lot more involved and a lot more consistent than the Dallas
Yeah.
Mavericks role players who played amazing in the game 7 on the road. Cannot forget that. But I'm going to lean to the Warriors in 6 games. I do think Luka and them boys, they got 2 in them. But it's just hard to go against the Warriors in this spot. But if Dallas plays anything like they did in Game 7, hey man, all bets are off, man. And I actually have the numbers. It's actually minus 225 for the Warriors and plus 185 for the Dallas Mavericks. So the value isn't great right now, but because it's pretty much saying the Warriors got this. Minus 200 is quite a bit.
And you say take the over, right?
Uh, yeah. I'd be inclined to take this one over because for sure the other series is definitely going
the
under.
under.
Dre, last but not least, brother.
Warriors, and honestly, I think the Warriors get back to that dynasty of where they've been before. I mean, they've had some years where they've fallen off due to injuries or whatever, but they're back in the Western Conference Finals, and I think they get back to the finals and get back to their championship pedigree, and especially like I said earlier, if any reporter who's covering these games, you're hoping and praying that you get a Miami Golden State matchup.
So Dre, any particular amount of games, Dre?
Uh, For this series, I got it. I could see it going about 6, um, but possibly 7. But it's at least going 6.
No
This
sevens.
Dallas team,
No sevens. Hey, guys. No seven. All
this
right,
team is.
we already talked about Luca in the elimination game.
Hey
You don't
man,
want a seven. You do not want a
uh,
seven.
You don't want a
um,
headache like that.
I think that it like I said, I could see it going. It's going 6. It could go 7, but it's I think it's just time. I think it's just the inevitable at this point. Dallas, you've had a good run, but you run into the reigning defending. Let me stop. But it's their time. I think Golden State gets back to who they are.
Well, let us know your predictions for the Eastern and Western Conference Finals and predictions for the draft lottery and any other storylines as we get ready for the conference finals. Can't believe the finals begin less than a month from now on June
Tell me about it.
2nd. Crevonte, it's time to do what you do best, and that's call out the goofiness, baby. And I think you got two juicy ones. Juicier than that steak at Jimmy's, Raj. It's time
Oh,
for
I'll
Crevante's
be there next week. Well, the week
goofies
after next.
of the
Hey,
week.
yo. Welcome,
Ho,
good
ho,
people.
ho, ho.
Oh, thank you, D. Thank you, D. I missed it, D. All right, that's D. I missed that. That's what
That's
I missed,
that's the
D.
that's the D you missed.
That's
That's
hey, God damn it, Byron, stop twisting my words. God
okay.
damn it, no, you made me call him Die. Die, God damn it, Damaris. I've never called you that, but God damn it, that is what I missed. Um, welcome, good people, America, those in the YouTube world, in the regular world. Welcome to Goofies of the Week, sponsored by the Flex Zone. Appreciate you guys for giving me a little bit of time to let me tell the world what I thought was goofy this particular week. I got two cards that I was showing off here. I have a high level Goofy, which is Falcon Red. This is the top flight Goofies. We've gone too far. This is absurd. There's no turning back. Um, you probably should have rethought
No,
this before doing it.
Cavante, I got one better. State
Okay.
Farm Red. State
Say that
Farm
again.
Red. State Farm Red, baby.
State Farm Cliff Paul Jake Red. God damn it, it's perfect. State Farm. And of course, I have a low level Goofy. This is Jet Green, unless somebody else got something else more clever.
Yeah, that's their green. Milwaukee. Their green.
And also, they got put out by Boston Green as well. This is my low level Goofy. This is the funny ha 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 one. There's a potential that it could get bigger. They could be a high level Goofy, but the chances are not great. Low level Goofy is more so the funny one. Um, it's interesting. Where should I start? I'm gonna start low. I'm gonna start low level Goofy. Then I'm gonna go high level Goofy. So number one, like I was saying, I have a couple Goofies. Um, where I'm gonna start is a brother that they put. Listen, let me tell y'all something. I hate how they could just put anybody on TV to say stuff. Like they're literally putting people on TV for clickbait and the shock value. And I hate it. I also hate when bums critique superstars. I have it's a irky, irritating feeling. Especially when you're still playing. Um, and this goes to Patrick Beverly. Um, it's comical, and I put him as a low level Goofy because this is funny. This is comical that he thinks he can get on Joe Biden's airwaves and spew this goofiness about and be goofy towards Chris Paul. Now, D, we were talking earlier, we was alluding to it earlier. The things that he was saying, he's not necessarily wrong. But one thing we all know is that the messenger is just as important as the message. And Patrick Beverly, we all remember how last year ended for you. How soon we forget how you got frustrated when you was the pest all game, all series, and then got a foot in your ASS and stomped on your neck, and you went out your way to push somebody in the back, which was cowardly, that I might add. Now, again, some of the things he was saying was right. Chris Paul has not been a top-notch defender. He has very, very active hands. So he does get a lot of steals. And he is still a great leader despite his lackluster performance in this series and especially Game 7. But Patrick Beverly, you have no right to talk. You're not some type of great anything. You're a pest. Like, you're not even a great defender in my book. I'm just saying. You're a pest. That's what you are. And you can't sniff anything that Chris Paul has on. Honestly, in all seriousness, if they did that to be funny, it didn't work. It didn't work. And everybody is getting at him on Twitter, as they should, because he's out of line. He's out of line with this one. I saw a tweet from Damian Lillard. Bro on TV acting like his word is law. Speaking on private convos, because he did talk about Paul George, the conversation he had with Paul George, and praying on MF's downfall. This weird behavior, bro. And he was saying he ain't got a horse in his race. Yeah. Like you don't talk about private conversations. Like, that's too close to snitching. You know what I'm saying? And I know Pat Bev is definitely not that type of guy. But on live TV, I guess you could do anything. They must have paid him. They must have paid him a lot of money for this, man. They must have paid him a pretty penny for this. But
okay. I got more info in case you don't know.
What's up?
Just let me. Oh, okay. Well, he'll be back tomorrow. That's one. And two, if you haven't heard, he wants James Harden to get the Supermax from Philadelphia.
Good Lord.
Do what you
on
want,
Goofy.
as you will.
Good Lord.
So obviously, Patrick Beverly's eyes don't work. His eyes are definitely not working in this case, because there's no way anybody outside of Kevin Durant anybody outside of Kevin Durant in Brooklyn, and you can't even give Joel Embiid the max at this point. Anybody over there in that Eastern region deserves the max, like especially James Harden, and I mean by that tri-state area. Nobody over there deserves the max, yo. Nobody. Just nobody, especially James Harden, who wore a fat suit and then took it off so he could leave and go to another team. No, absolutely not. Patrick Beverly, you must be on James Harden's agency team, because no. Did you not see his performance? Historically, have you seen his playoff performances? It's the same.
He was a part of them.
Yeah. Trash. Just like you are, Patrick Beverly. Trash. Don't speak on superstars because you're not even close to one. Well, I'm sorry. I guess because you was on the phone with one, that counts. Whatever. Anyway, done talking about this goofy. Next. So I was kind of talking about it earlier. I mean, we was all talking about it, and I kind of went a bit far because I wanted to save some of it for Goofies of the Week. But I like I said, I kind of went a bit far, but I'm just gonna reiterate a couple things. I didn't know who to pinpoint it on, but this was a collective team meltdown. A collective team meltdown by the Phoenix Suns, led by the point guard, Chris Paul, and Devin Booker. Raj said something that I agree with 1,000%. this, and I'm not even gonna think hard on this one. This was the worst Game 7 I ever seen.
Yeah.
And this might be prisoner of the moment, but with the type of players we're dealing with and the team we're dealing with and the veteran experience that we're dealing with and it being a Game 7, worst performance I've seen ever. 27 points at halftime. Luka Doncic had 27 points by himself. Absolutely absurd. Luka snatched everybody's heart with every shot he took. Because I just felt like it was going in. Every one of them. There was nothing nobody could do. Jay Crowder got some. DeAndre Ayton got some. Chris Paul got some. Mikal Bridges, or was it Miles Bridges? The Bridge boy got some too. And mind you, he was second in the Defensive Player of the Year votes. Could not tell. Could not tell. Couldn't do nothing with that man. From the word go, from the whistle that jumped the ball, Luka Doncic was on a mission to take everybody. So he took everybody's soul in the arena. I've never seen fans leave an arena so goddamn early. Folks left to get some. Folks left to get food and took it to go. It was that bad. 57-27 at halftime. And I don't know what you, as Monty Williams, I don't know what you tell. What do you tell them? What do you tell them? What do you tell a veteran that's 37, 38 about a pick-me-up? There's no speech you can give somebody who's been playing basketball that damn long. And you down by 30 in a Game 7. Game 7. All the chips are on the table. No matter what, the series is over after this. And they play like it was Game 3.
They played like it was November in the regular season.
Right. They play like it was a regular season game. Let me not disrespect the playoff game. Because sometimes blowouts do happen in series. But not in Game 7. Not at home.
Not when the road team have won in 4 years in your building, man.
And you choose. It's too many great players. Let me not say too many great players. It's too many good, really good players for y'all all to have an off night on the same night. It's too many. Like Devin Booker and Chris Paul, Luka outscored them at halftime. He didn't have to put up another point, and he still outscored them without even having. He could have sat down the whole second half and still had more points than them combined. Absolutely absurd, and I'm trying my best not to be prisoner of the moment, but what I saw was atrocious. It was atrociously bad. Monty Williams, they should take the Coach of the Year trophy back away from you. That's how far I'm going with this. And it should go to the Boston Celtics.
Oh, Ime Udoka.
Mr. Long Odonka. Mr. Long Odonka.
Oh my God. So disrespectful. But yeah, you should revoke your Coach of the Year award. And Devin Booker, you still outside the club. And Chris Paul, your window has closed, in my opinion, because I think this team is going to shake up a little bit. And DeAndre Ayton, you're not that guy, and honestly, you never was. You never was. Number overall pick. You play good. You're good enough to keep playing, but you're not living up to number one overall pick status. You're soft, in my opinion, and you're a quitter. So collectively, the Phoenix Suns played like I'm upset that I kept watching.
Same.
Maybe I'm goofy. Maybe I'm goofy in this
No.
sense.
You wanted to see Charles Barkley. That's what you wanted to see.
Thanks, D. Thanks for my
They
way
should have.
out.
They should have had him on in the back during the game, crying. Every one time.
Maybe that's what I wanted, D, because I love when Charles Barkley be wrong. I tell you, it's something about and by Byron. I'm gonna use that excuse as well. I want to see the after show,
Yep.
the real show. And again, when Charles Barkley is wrong, he go down wrong. He go down hard. Like from Auburn, the Auburn loss, and Phoenix Suns. Hell, the Sixers lost too. Throw that in there too.
Yeah. My man was sad because he couldn't be in his home for the conference finals.
Man, it was atrocious, and I'm gonna get off of it. But
Not atrocious.
worst game 7 I've ever seen. Worst game 7 performance by a team I've ever seen that had the talent for it not to happen. Goofy. So definitely high level.
Oh.
And Patrick Beverly, low level. Guys got to do better. But there's a thin line between Goofy and Great and Patrick Beverly, and the whole entire Phoenix Suns organization is on the wrong end of it. Got to do better, guys.
Thank you for that goofy of the week, Crevonte. If you have a goofy of the week, you can always let us know as well. Hit us up, flexzone1@gmail.com. Guest ideas want to be part of the show as well. As you see Gangsta Mickey in the background there. Drizzy Dre, episode 344 next week. What can they expect? And how can they keep up with you each and every day? Start your day with a cup of Dre.
Hey man, you can catch me Monday through Friday on Good Morning Baltimore. You can catch me doing karaoke on Fridays. Seem like lately I've been any and everywhere. And of course you can catch us here every Monday at 10. Next week, I mean, of course we're going to continue with some, our NBA, and maybe we'll talk a little baseball. You know, the Yankees do have the best record right now in baseball.
Yes, they do, Dre.
Yeah,
Acknowledge the Yankees.
Screw them.
Maybe we can do that. You know, D, if you're more than welcome to talk about the greatest sports franchise in all the sports. You know,
Gangsta Mickey here. We ain't talking about that crap.
Definitely could talk some baseball, as always.
Hey, Byron.
We
real
talk
quick,
about how baseball's in the grave.
We need a segment on the Veer Mahan, man.
Just watch him give him a beat down. There you go, Raj. There you go. Your boy.
Yeah,
Oh man. Flex Zone 1 on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and what else, D?
the Twitter.
At the Flex Zone 1. D, how can they keep up with you and Sport Neck real quick?
All right, let me take back over
Put
from
Gangsta
Gangsta Mickey.
Mickey away. Put him away.
Yeah. Gangsta Mickey, check. But yeah, you check out Sport Network via the YouTube page. It's been popping. Almost at 1,800 subscribers out there. Almost at 7,500 views, which I just noticed the other day.
Oh, wow. Congrats.
Pretty impressive. Check it out. Check out the Flex Zone. Donate at the Flex Zone 1. Donate to Diaspora Network at Diaspora Network, both on Cash App. Fantasy Collection played around.
Appreciate that. Drop those emojis in the chat as you see the sunglass emojis. Raj, let them know what's going on the YouTube and social media as a social media producer.
All right. Well, tomorrow we got Washington. We have the Command. Wednesday, I guess we have AEW Dynamite with Byron and maybe Queen, but we'll see. Queen Bear. Thursday, I'm not sure, or Friday, we're gonna go with something. Other than that, we're gonna keep it moving, man. Got a lot more stuff to come, a lot more stuff to do, a lot more things that are coming. coming true. So we shall see.
Thank you, my brother. As always, show was executive produced by Andre Melton, man of a thousand nicknames, senior producer, captain of the Goofy Ship, Crevonte Hurd. Of course, on that social media producer side, Big Raj, the man himself. And of course, follow DSN. And you can catch D here on Monday nights when his schedule allows. I'm God's favorite host, the host with the moist. Make sure you acknowledge the Hitters Sports Podcast table and throw up your ones, baby, because we are still America's Moist One at Crevonte. And that's right. Flex on Podcast, fellas, the only place giving you your sports how you want it.
When
When
you
When
you
you
need
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 it.
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 That's right. If
One
you would
more
like
salute.
to, that's right. Salute to the Commander Lawyer Crevonte. We'll be doing that video as we talked about, talking about the Commander schedule as well. And they got a theme song now, Crevonte. Is that correct?
Oh,
Ah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
At least it's not Hell Daniel Snyder.
It's not official, but they working on something.
Okay. We may have to get your input on that as well. Of course, if you want to
Hell
donate,
Daniel Snyder.
hail those allegations. Hashtag the Flex Zone One. FlexZone1 at gmail.com. If you want to be part of the experience, want to be a guest, ideas, anything of that nature as well. Appreciate you guys for 60,000 views on YouTube. We're going to keep growing. Let us know what you want to see on the channel. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell. And as always, for Raj, for Crevonte, for Dre, and D, we gone. Till next week, episode 344 of the Flex Zone Podcast, y'all. We gone.
Peace.
peace.